Everybody, and welcome back to Griffin, Indiana. A surprise mid-afternoon live stream. I was thinking about, man, I really need to get some Indiana play going on because of the fact that, well, here in about a week, we're going to be red versus green for a month. And, well, it's going to be tabling Indiana, and quite frankly, probably will be the end of our Indiana gameplay, as short as it's going to be. Because, well, April, I am sure, is going to bring plenty of other things to introduce into the channel as far as farm sim content. Hey, Terraforming, what is up? I don't know how many people we're going to end up rustling out of their Saturday afternoon, or, well, I guess this is the best chance for the European viewers to catch a stream. I mean, that it's early evening for them, mid-evening. We might have a little different audience today. I was thinking about it, yeah. I'm thinking about double-heading tonight. Double-header today. So, I was thinking about, you know what, let's do a little streaming this afternoon where we are, well, earning money. As you guys have run me out of money. All your crazy decisions. So I thought, what the heck? Let's load up with as much fertilizer as we can. Let's go do some fertilizer contracts and see if we can't bring that bank balance back up. Because like I said, with red versus green getting ready to start, it's no time to start a pre-recorded series. It's no time to start much of anything. Was playing some SnowRunner earlier today. And, oh look, we've got, I didn't even realize we have oil pumps off in the distance too. And they are animated. So I was thinking about streaming SnowRunner. But I think that'll wait. Maybe I'll do that tomorrow. I don't know. Maybe I'll do this tomorrow. I would like to get through a whole year of this before red versus green. What's up, Time-Lapse Farmer and Mark? How you doing tonight? Or today? This afternoon? Morning? Wherever it is for you. So we learned last time we were streaming that the map author, AJ Farmer, has sent an update off to Giants for the map. He had a large list of fixes, but I honestly can't remember them at the moment. We also need to keep an eye on our fuel. I noticed we're under halfway on our fuel. I'm using the more fuel usage mod. So it looks like we're going to get about 6 hours out of our fuel tank, which equates to a good, you know, a good day of, good half day of work in the field. Hey James, how you doing tonight? Today, so used to streaming in my evening. We also need to check our fields. I think they're all fully fertilized. Hey, Phantom. Oh, I'm doing pretty good. How are you doing tonight? This afternoon for me. It'll be hard to break that. Hey, Ian. Oh, I'm doing fine. Doing very well. Sitting a little earlier, trying to figure out what I was going to do. How was I going to occupy myself? And I had a few options. I had SnowRunner. I did some SnowRunner earlier today. Just playing it, not recording it or anything, just playing it. And I finished the Alaska contracts. I finished the Russian Tamar logging contracts. And I was looking at the the Kola Peninsula logging contracts, and I thought, well, I could do a live stream working on the Season 1 added logging contracts, which I might do at some point. And then I thought, well, maybe I'll just record those and release them as videos. Then I was like, I really need to get on this map and get some gameplay, because I do want to basically try to work through as much of the year as possible. Before we move into the red versus green on March 1st. Ish. I think I might start the evening before, just because I don't plan on starting March 1st at midnight. I'll be working the next day. Well, let's... There we go. Then I was doing a little Red Dead Redemption. And then I decided, you know what, let's just do a 3 o'clock stream. Is that Renus? Thanks for the... Thanks. That's right, Terry. Yeah, we could say that this stream is to make up for losing track of time yesterday. There was no stream last night. I kind of lost track of time. Logging away on the... Oops. Plugging away on the federal and state tax returns. All I can tell you is thank God for modern banking and the ability to search through your year's worth of transactions, to download your transactions to a CSV file and slap them into a spreadsheet and sort them out. And I can go a long way to helping make up for lack of filing certain things away. keeping track of them. It's one thing to keep track of something when you know you need to keep track of it. It's another thing to have no clue that you need to keep track of something until an entire year goes by and you're like, oh, I didn't know I was supposed to keep up with that. Dustin, what's up? What do you think of Griffin, Indiana as a map with respect to, well, you residing in north central Indiana? Is that, I don't know where Griffin, Indiana is. Is that anywhere close to where this is to be set? Darren's off to Lupper. I think that's supposed to be supper, only he completely is on the wrong side of the keyboard. Well, I thought I would just do a surprise mid-afternoon live stream. YouTube's told me before that my best audience is on like a 1 p.m. on Saturday. So I was like, huh, maybe we'll see what kind of viewership we get at 3 p.m. on a Saturday. Evening, Mark. You don't have to stay up super late to catch us. Joel Smith and Donald, how you doing tonight? Today, this afternoon, morning, wherever you're from. I did remember to put in a sleep trigger, so we got to put one of those down. Would like to hopefully get our corn field planted either this afternoon or tonight. And I'd want to, well, we're going to plant that probably in late spring. So we need to go through another 2 or 3 game days to get to that point. 8:15 in the UK, okay. We will be doing 2 Griffin live streams today. One right now and one at our normal time of 8 p.m. So just about 5 hours from now. The FS7, the bushes, you mean the bushes that change during the seasons? I'm on the East Coast, so it's 3 p.m. here. Those in a central time zone are 2 p.m. Pacific time zone, it is noon. 12:15 for you guys. Hawaii time zone, man, I don't know, it's like probably like 7 in the morning. No, it's probably like 9 in the morning. Many years ago, I needed to work with a company that was based in Hawaii, and I needed to basically work with their tech support. And being on the East Coast of the U.S. and them in Hawaii, in the Pacific, there was like an hour or 2 of crossover from from our working hours and their working hours. So it was this real narrow window of time that we could actually do live support because of the times differences. Oh, is that just or Darren, because of how 19 seasons there's that progression? It just doesn't change at the transition. It kind of changes throughout. Fine. So at the start of the stream, I had $1,500. Are making a little moolah. Now I do want to check. Precision farming. pH. Nitrogen. That's not planted yet. We planted that field. We haven't planted that field. We do need to fertilize our grass field up here. We're going to put corn in this field for sure. I'm going to let you guys pick what goes into this field. Yeah. So we have sugar beets planted. Oh, we did plant something. What did we plant up here? Wheat. Okay, we did plant wheat up there. Or did we buy that field after it had wheat in it? Gosh, I don't remember. CBW Farms, what's up? Glenn, welcome to chat. Is anybody... I'm not good with puzzles. So we learned from the map author that the Sasquatch was last seen at the bathroom at the gas station. So what does that tell us? Didn't see him at night at the hotel. I don't know. If this is supposedly the last place Mr. Sasquatch has been seen, okay, what does that tell us about where he might be? I was hypothesizing that he might be staying here at the Tidal View Motel and didn't want to blow up his own room, so he went to the gas station to do his business. But not the right field. Oh, we're up here. Okay, up here by the biogas plant. And we didn't really want to, you know, snoop around the residences too much. In the middle of the night. It's supposed to be in the forest off the track. You mean off the railroad track? Like over there by field 19? All right, later, Darren. Have fun with your lunch, supper. Late lunch, early supper means you just eat again later in the day, right? Oh, and again with the offset. Well, maybe when we're fertilizing field 19, we'll hire a helper and go look. Well, hello, yes, Potato Papa. How are you doing? Does that mean you like to plant potatoes? Be an interesting story on where that name came from. So if you are one of those guys that likes to merge fields and make things big, looks like you could really merge 13, 17, 15, and 16 and make one big field out of this whole area here. Fields are just separated by a strip of grass, so oh, well, Mark, day's been swimmingly well. I don't have, my job doesn't really dictate that I do too much in the weekends with respect to real work. Today's been kind of just a chill out day. It's decent temps outside, but really it's too muddy to do anything outside. Still a little bit too cold to do anything outside. Just been playing some games all day. Well, Neil, if you haven't started playing the map, not that I want to discourage you from playing it, but the map author mentioned earlier this week in a live stream that he was either updating it or had just sent an update to Giants, so it was going to require a new save game. So if you haven't started it yet, then you can hold off. It might be worth holding off just to see if that update comes out in a timely manner, and if it does, that might save you a little bit of a restart. Hey, Amanda, what's up? So for me, we got up, doing some SnowRunner, and I was just chilling, doing some things. Watched an interesting video about the Apollo computer that they used for the moon landings. That's a rather interesting talk that I watched. Oh my gosh, Ford Ranger. How is it that you can be here at the same time as you're everywhere else? Welcome to the channel. Oh. Hopefully you weren't at the hospital due to a injury. Oh, what's wrong with the friend's computer? Oh, we do hear. We are in town. We can hear the church bells at noon. Y'all hear him? They're not that loud with the rain. Darren asked about, somebody asked about hearing the church bells at noon. That's a cool little detail. Oh, well. They got to get their statistics on you. Ah, join the club. Join the club. He's not on the heavy side since nobody can go anywhere anymore. Oh, well, one good thing, Mark, with Windows 10 is they moved to a cumulative update. So each month's update includes all the previous updates. So you can get a system back up to date a whole lot faster than the old times of downloading hundreds of updates just to restart and have hundreds more to iterate through. I need to get a Blu-ray drive myself. Got some Blu-ray discs I need to rip and put on a disk storage, so we can stream those to. What do I do? Oh, so we can stream those to various things in the house. Yeah, I mean now is a horrible time to be trying to build anything. Anything new, that's for sure. $75%. I don't think we're going to get it. We're going to have to go buy some more fert. We got precision farming on. That's how we have the little mini map down there showing our fertilization. Zoe, it should be in the description, is it not? Well, Ford Ranger, as long as you know where you live, it's best. Real farmers do not fertilize in the rain. No. Have you not updated, Lord Thunder Monkey? Giants did an update to precision farming that fixed some things. Apparently broke some other things. But one of the things it added was the fertilization display on the mini-map for contracts. Yeah, this is a contract, so this is a field we don't own. So it behaves, the display behaves different on fields you don't own. So on fields you don't own, you just get the 1-state or 2-state, 3-state fertilization. Oh, field 22, where's that one at? Oh, okay. Down here to the south by the field 21 that you own. Yeah, I'm just doing contracts to get some money because these guys ran me into the poorhouse earlier. Started the stream with $1,500. I use OBS to stream. Whoa. Thunder Monkey, I hold myself to 0 restrictions on realism. Realism isn't my key. Chilling out and enjoying myself, and for live streams, the company of others is the goal. Just straight OBS, not the Streamlabs variant. So yeah, I mean, if I was ultra realism, I wouldn't be fertilizing in the rain. I would probably also be trying to first person everything. I would probably not be filling big bags from the ground. I would have a loader or something to empty them into from the top. What a better way to double your money. Well, right now, this is all from, I think USA. What you're, or US, what you're asking is us and the guns. That's it. I think what you're really asking is, do I have a one PC setup or a 2 system setup for streaming? And it's just one. I'm playing and streaming off the same box. You know, as long as you've got good hardware, that's easy enough to do. You definitely don't need added complexity of splitting it out. Okay, so now what? Am I not on field 19? Oh, seriously. Did it again. Well, technically I've got several Farm Sim dedicated servers. There's what? Soon going to be 3 running on the Discord that I manage, or at least that are paid for out of that account. I've provided a couple to some modding individuals and other Farm Sim friends. to kind of make use of as they see fit. And really, the reason that I can do that is that folks that have watched the dedicated server how-to videos have clicked on a referral link for game servers, and therefore I get a little cut of their first month, which helps pay for all that. So right now we're just running on the local PC, a local game save. Looking for Mr. Sasquatch. Go wireframe mode, I'll help find him. Can't hide from my x-ray eyes. Hey Thor, what's up? Thor, don't you know, never wake a sleeping bear. I've only ever used game servers myself. Never really had a need to try anybody else. We're working on a lead as to where the Sasquatch might be, if there even is one. Thought process was maybe he's living in this area of woods and runs to the gas station to go to the bathroom. But I don't see him, so we're just going to go on. So we're going to be using game server servers for the red versus green challenge. It's going to be kicking off here in about a week. Team red will be on one. Team green will be on a different 10-slot servers. We used the game server for the Pros versus Joes challenge. Hey, Terex Corbin. How you doing tonight? FS Club, welcome to chat. That's exciting times, Team Red Green. We've got 10 players and 1 alternate already to go for the challenge. So right now we are in the process of just thinking through our strategies, getting some shared mods figured out, and then probably get those servers fired up hopefully early next week. Let each team get some pre-game gameplay on those, and then once we're ready to start, we'll refresh the game save and fire them up for legits. Yeah. Mr. Sasquatch is in there somewhere. We didn't see him. Maybe he only comes out at night. Look at what the weather's gonna be. Rain today, tomorrow, afternoon rain. Friday's good weather. So mid-spring, Friday's late spring. So this is when we're going to be planting our corn. Good drying temps. We might also be able to cut some hay mid-spring. We don't have any animals, so we'll just be cutting it to sell it. Now, let's see here. Do we... it's one of the downsides of doing these live streamers. That's growing. That's growing. Growing. Field 6 is the only field we need to plant. I already decided we're going to put corn into that. And yeah, I'm trying to think what we're gonna vote on next. Yeah, so the gist of Team Red Green is obviously Team Red is limited to using the Case IH branded powered vehicles, with the exception of a truck. So trucks can be whatever brand, but tractors or any other motorized equipment must be Case IH. Team Green, everything must be John Deere. Teams can use implements from other brands, except Team Green is prohibited from using Case IH implements, and Team Red is prohibited of using John Deere implements and tools. There'll be a common set of mods across 2 servers. We're going to be playing on Crawford Farms for Farm Sim 19. We're going to be doing 6-day seasons. The gameplay is going to be, clock is going to run for 1x speed from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. for a 15-hour game day. At 9 p.m., the clock's going to skip to 120x to fly through evening and morning. So there'll be no sleeping on the server. In theory, the server times are going to be somewhat synced between the 2 servers. Times will probably slowly fall out of sync as they restart nightly and such, but in theory, they're going to be somewhat synced together. We're going to be using the Crawford Farms Geo that will hopefully be released this coming week. Team Green can buy even numbered fields. Team Red has to buy odd numbered fields. What would be an old school type challenge, like where you have to use old stuff? Well, Farmer Johnson, there was some talk of a Team Blue, but I didn't know if we really have enough players to fill out a third team. So each team will have to maintain the animals that you get from the start on Crawford Farms. So you start out with 50 pigs and I think 50 sheep. So you have to maintain at least 50 pigs and 50 sheep for the duration of the challenge, which is 2 game years. Both teams will own the starting farms and the starting fields. So that's kind of where the commonality ends. No team can sell a plot of land that they purchase. If you buy a plot of land, it is yours for the duration. Forestry is going to be done in such a way where the trees cut down has to match the trees planted. There's no requirement on the type of pig, just the number of pigs. So yes, that can be a strategy all of its own of which type of pig you pick, which type of sheep you pick. You don't have to keep the same 50 pigs. You just have to keep 50 pigs. That's right. Trees are planted by hand. So if you cut down 1,000 trees, you're planting 1,000 trees by hand. So some of the rules have been set forth deliberately with the idea that this is a multiplayer server. There is going to be abundance of players and playtime, that you don't really need to take shortcuts. No hired helpers. So if we're talking 10-person servers for the period of 31 real days, there's no need for auto-load trailers of any sort. So if you're doing a whole bunch of forestry, you're going to be loading those logs on a trailer. Good old-fashioned way. If you're going to do a bunch of hay bales or straw bales, you can use the Anderson trailers. I think that DLC everybody owns. But you won't be using a flatbed and driving past them and having them magically appear on the bed. The winners decided through a series of points. So points are awarded based on various factors. One of those factors is the team with the highest amount of money at the end. Another one of the teams, or another one of the set of points is the team with the least amount of total combined playtime on the server. So the goal is the winner will be the team that is most efficient. So if you earn the most money and you've managed to put the least amount of time on the server as a collective team, you're pretty much assured to win because those two particular amounts of those two categories give the most points. 100 points for each of those categories. Then there's a series of categories that give you just 25 points each, that range from something like the team that used the least amount of fuel, the team that basically harvested or threshed the most hectares, and a few other factors. There is a couple more. I can't remember them off the top of my head. But the goal was to come up with a way of calculating out the winner that would reward the teams for being efficient. So if doing the job effectively, bigger equipment will definitely get the job done, but it'll cost more. It might take more fuel to operate. Running smaller equipment will definitely take longer to do things. Might cost less to do that. In order to take longer to do it, you might have more collective players involved, so you might spend more time on the server. But more time on the server might mean that you are able to do other things like more contracts. One of the categories is definitely the team that has worked the least number of contracts, because we know contracts are a good way of earning money. So you could imagine Team Red or Green might want to do all the fertilizing contracts possible, because it might give harvest contracts later a bigger bonus in crop. And of course you get crop bonus, once you satisfy 90% of the contract. And then that crop can be used for your pigs, or can be just sold for profit. We didn't want to, basically, Thunder Monkey, I didn't want to dump into a pros versus Joes where all we're doing is making silage bales and selling them at the BGA. So if you want to use the BGA, it's got to be loose. So it'll be interesting to see. And now with Razdik streaming, viewers will be able to watch teams Red and Green battle it out, if you will. Hey Justin, what's up? So if you make bales, you have to use them for feed or sell them, I guess. I don't know. I probably have a rule against selling them. There's a lot of work in compacting, right? Now, if you have a ton of people on the server, you can have, multiple people running forage harvesters, multiple people running wagons back and forth, and somebody compacting the whole time. and that goes a lot faster than basically building a bunker and then trying to compact it all at once. No, you can have mods. So there will be a core set of mods that are common across both servers that both teams agree on. And then each team captain, myself and Raznik, will be the final say on the team-specific mods. Obviously the Case and John Deere mods. With the overall guidance that the mod needs to be somewhat realistic with respect to pricing and capabilities. You know, there's some older mods out there for some, older John Deere equipment, older Case equipment that is very well priced. And some of that is, realistically priced out, and some of it is just like, no, I don't think so. You're not going to buy that tractor for $2,000. We're not, nobody's going to be breaking these mods down, no. Programmer, this map is just a standard size map. It's a full size 2x2 map. So compared to some of the European maps or some of the Polish maps that are cut down and not full size, yes, it's a big map. So not a bad conclusion to our fertilizing. So I started this map, or started this stream with $1,500, and well, now we have a bit more money than that. Programmer, it is not bigger than Lone Oak. Lone Oak is a 2x2 map. So is this one. So a standard Giants map is 2x2, 2 kilometers square. And that's what this is, and that's what Lone Oak is. All right, Thunder Monkey. Mystic Exploration, what is up? Welcome to channel. Transport, cultivate, cultivate. All right, so let's just check. This field is perfect on everything. Oh, we do need to fertilize our grass. Remember that. We do need to fertilize our grass. Hey, Martin, what's up? Irish cream latte. That sounds like it might be good. We did sell off the starting farm and buildings to work up our initial capital. I guess we need to get a sprayer for our eventual need to herbicide. Maybe I'll just lease the sprayer since it's a one-time deal. Now let's see if we have enough fertilizer for this field. Barely applying any. I guess grass doesn't need much. So, given the fact that we don't need much, yeah, we're going to have plenty. We'll need to get some mowing equipment. This field was bought off of a player choice. It made me buy field 1 and 33. Kind of got grass. Through that little exchange. I expect we won't be spending much time in mid-spring. Hey, Rabbit Man, what is up? I'm glad you're enjoying the map. What does it say for? When you try to put them down. Now, I would like to see if the update basically lets the junk get sold. And we sold the buildings, but the junk in and around the shed remained, which kind of makes this area a little less viable for start from scratch type environment, where maybe you want to do new farmer, but you want to redo the farm a little bit. Land is expensive. But is that not part of the fun? It's part of the challenge. Sad shed. It's too little for my cedar and planters. So if we were to, we'll lease a sprayer later. Where's our grass growth? So let it grow another stage. Like I said, we are not going to be long in day 4. It's going to fly into late spring. Fertilize field 18. Oh, that's very tempting. Very tempting to get some more money from field 18. And we need all the money we can get. All right, I'll show you the field prices here in a minute. Once we get going on field 18. It's hard to fertilize when you leave the spreader back there. Wouldn't you say? Oh, they don't. These don't show up. Like, they don't even show up in the shop. Oh. Definitely sounds like a conflict of some sorts going on there. Are these mods that you've used on another map that doesn't have that issue at all? So is this field 18? This is field 18. Rotate our line. Get in. Okay, let's take a look at prices. 34 acres, 34.8 acres. Field 18 is $920,000. 14 hectares in size. Field 19 is $1.18 million. 15.8 hectares in size. It does have a bit of a forest area. Now, not all of these trees can be easily cut with a tree harvester. Field 22 is $800,000. Hey, Rich. Okay, yes, it is kind of an early surprise afternoon stream for me. Sitting around thinking, man, I need to get on Griffin, but you guys are supposedly making the decisions. Didn't feel right doing some off-camera gameplay. Although, honestly, I haven't really asked anybody for a decision yet today. Little smaller fields like 21 is just shade under 200 grand. 287,000. Field Pier. Main farm was $400,000. But there's lots of variety in sizes and plots. I mean, we're doing pretty darn good. If you look at the land we own, okay, so we own field 32 and 6 and 21 and 1 and 33. So we own 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 plots of land. We bought all 5 plots of land and our tractor, a seeder, a planter, and this lime and fertilizer spreader with the money from new farmer mode and selling the farm equipment, selling the land that you get at the start, and selling the buildings that you get at the start. So we've not taken out a loan. We didn't cheat any money in. So we've done pretty good for ourselves. We haven't done any transport jobs, no. Mostly because, well, I'd need to buy forks and an arm and stuff. And, I mean, we're $51,000. I need to lease a sprayer and herbicide I need to buy. We still need to get that field planted. And corn. We're probably going to lease or buy some grass equipment, a mower, a baler, and then a trailer to pick those bales up with. And at some point we're going to need to buy a harvester or lease a harvester. So we need a lot of money. I would love to do this without borrowing anything. You can see we have no loan. So I would sold land. Oh, there we got 1.4 million in sold land. $200,000 in sold buildings and 100 grand in sold vehicles. We started out pretty darn good on the first day of gameplay. What's that a link to, terraforming? Is that custom bales or something? I'm going to be on for about another 40 minutes. I do want to keep the stream to about 2 hours. We will be back on this map later tonight at my normal time, which is 4 hours from now. It'll be 8:23. So just under 4 hours from now, be back here streaming at our normal time. Oh, you could definitely do that, Mark. You could definitely borrow the contract. I've done that before with the multi-contract mod. The mod that lets you take out multiple contracts. You know, I've borrowed it. You know, I'd be like, oh, wow, I get that. Let me take this contract out. Then I'll take out a bunch of fertilizing contracts with the multi-contract mod enabled. And then I'll do all the contracts with this equipment. And then I just have to remember I can't accept this initial contract until last. I've done that before. It's a little sketchy. You know, it's not legit gameplay. But it's definitely possible. But one of the goals for me in doing a lot of fertilizing contracts is that it lets you, when you get around to doing harvest contracts on this same field, hopefully you'll get a better harvest. Or, not realistic for this map, but in other gameplay, maybe you come back later before harvest and buy this field. You'll reap the rewards of the farmer paying you to fertilize it, and then you being able to basically get the best yield possible. Is it Titch and Co? Interesting. Difficult name. Exciting time to be in Farm Sim, that's for sure. I don't know if y'all heard the news or heard the rumor that there is a new DLC that's been sorry, there's a new DLC that's been registered on Steam. Right now it's got the code name of R. Big bit of speculation on what that R might be. Now, someone had left a comment on the last stream, after the stream, that R could be, in their perspective, a DLC around farming, computerized, basically computer equipment, and measuring interfaces. So it was a company that starts with R. They manufacture a bunch of like in computers, and basically have the ability to measure and control like fertilizer spread, spray, applications, and a bunch of other things. So it would be like, that would be conceptually a way of expanding on the precision farming concept for sure. That, you know, it'd be a potential paid DLC maybe, I don't know, on farming. They also did, interesting enough, they offered like GPS, guidance steering capabilities in tractors equipment. So it's like, ooh, look at that. The holy grail for console players. This particular company that starts with an R does provide to farmers guidance steering capabilities amongst various other things. So I will try to, for tonight's stream, I'll try to remember to go dig that comment up and grab that company name so that I can put that out there for people to at least look at. I mean, that's part of the fun, is speculating and guessing and hoping that your guess is the right guess. Oh, thanks, Stefan. That was one of my goals, or one of my wishful thinkings for the stream this afternoon, was maybe folks that follow the channel that don't often have the ability to participate in a live stream would have the capability of jumping on this afternoon. Early evening for you. It wasn't RTK. It was a longer company name. Like I said, I'm going to dig it up later. There we go. Terraforming it. Raven Precision. So if you look up Raven Precision, either after the stream or in a different tab, you'll see that they deal with like in-cab computers, metering equipment for sprayers, and they had a section on like GPS, guided steering capabilities, and it would be like, wow, that would be kind of an interesting DLC. Not a brand, you know, not a tractor brand, not so much a implement brand, but bringing in technology and incorporating it with existing equipment. That would be a cool DLC. You know, I hold that I think we got enough brands. I mean, there's always going to be your favorite brand that isn't represented enough how you feel. I mean, yeah, it'd be interesting to have John Deere implements, Case implements, or more New Holland implements from an American standpoint. Be interesting to see Kubota from the stance of a small tractor division. And Kubota has some kind of bigger tractors. It'd be interesting to see AGCO as just an AGCO brand. I've seen farmers in the area where I'm at driving around AGCO branded tractors. It's like, is that the like house brand tractor for AGCO? If you want I don't know what brands are even AGCO. Let's say Massey Ferguson's AGCO. If you want a Massey Ferguson tractor, but you can't afford the brand name, you get an AGCO tractor that's basically Massey Ferguson without the name. That would be interesting. But what would be even more interesting would be a DLC on farming technology. That would be pretty cool. You know, I was kind of joking and speculating it would be a rice DLC. We'd introduce rice to the game and then have a series of farming equipment related to rice. Would it be yet another one of those specialty crops that goes the way of sugarcane? Sugarcane was introduced in 17 in the Platinum Edition. I think for the most part, lots of people planted sugarcane, harvested sugarcane, and then plowed it under and went on with their life because of just the sheer amount of work that was involved with sugarcane. I mean, cotton? I don't know. How many of you all routinely do cotton? Maybe I'll put a poll up in the community chat. My general thought process is a lot of these specialty crops end up kind of flopping. I mean, so like, I mean, potatoes. So we had the potato DLC, the Grimmy DLC, and yes, I'll have tons of Europeans telling me I'm mispronouncing it and this is how you pronounce it. Well, I could give you all kinds of American names that I guarantee you can't pronounce. So, sometimes you need to get off your high horse. Because we just aren't, we as in Americans, just aren't exposed to lots of these names and brands. At any rate, you think about potatoes. I'm sure more people will do potatoes with that DLC because it makes potatoes more economic. I mean, cotton is expensive. Cotton harvesters are expensive. I mean, you'd make a ton of money, for sure. You can make a ton of money if you do it on a big scale. But you got to go in debt pretty big to get into it. Sugarcane is expensive. Custom planter. It's custom seed in billets. It's custom harvester for sure. Custom transport. Takes forever to do. And I did some sugarcane in 17 with Emerald Coast. It was a loss. I lost money on that, leasing the equipment. I would have had to have had many fields planted in sugarcane to make it up in volume. Oh, thanks, Jimmy, for the super chat. Much appreciated. For sure. So I have no doubt that you can be profitable with sugarcane, but you need to do it in such volume. And my thought process in 17 was you had to have kind of a good rotation so that you were always able to keep that equipment running, harvesting the next set of sugarcane to pay for it. Brian, we took over the little homestead by Field 32. So that was a choice on the first stream, was where we would put our homestead down. Will we do the home farm where we start out? Would we go 32 or 30? And chat picked a little house at 32, so that's where we started. Oops. Turn that off. That's what I'm trying to do. Change the game clock. It got bumped up to 15 times speed. So, you know, rice would be interesting. It would represent the Asian Pacific Rim. But would it go the way of sugarcane? Would it be yet another crop that no one uses? Yeah, I mean, I'm not a big fan of the multi-fruit maps. I know there's people that will only play multi-fruit maps. Is there a right answer on that? Yeah, but if we do rice, I'd like to see it in. I'd like to see it done correctly. Now, what kind of fuels that speculation on rice was the mysterious vanishing of the Italian map that includes rice. It's there one day in the mod hub and gone the next. Rumors say that it didn't load up in console. It was crashing consoles. Played fine on PC, as best I could tell. Stefan, I don't think it would include a Asian map. Just the development time on maps is so large. I really don't see Giants putting out basically developing a fourth map for the game. Especially with Erlengrot coming out just last November. I mean, it wouldn't surprise me one bit to hear that the mapping team at Giants started working on Erlengrot soon after the release of 19. It wouldn't surprise me at all. Because the artistic team that works on maps and textures and buildings and things like that, they're not going to be involved, I don't think, in any way with respect to mod testing. They're definitely not going to be involved in and coding for patching the game. They're going to be focused on creating buildings and assets and textures for something new. Well, you do have rice on that map also. As I said in the video, this Italian map, to me, felt like it was a refinement on that South American map. Because the South American map had rice, floodable rice paddies, in just a small subset of the farmland. Whereas the Italian map had probably 90% of the fields could be flooded with the use of floodgates to open and close gates at the various irrigation channels, so that it really opened up the entire map to being a rice production. You can correct me all you want. Never feel that I'm going to have a problem with somebody correcting me. There'll be plenty of times that I'll forget something, or not realize something, or not be aware of something. Let's put my welcome mat down backwards. Well, think of it this way. It's welcoming the farmer to his farm. Alright, now we can plant our corn. That's right, we don't know. Farming practices vary drastically across one country, let alone different countries. Uh-oh. What on earth are we dragging on? Are we going to be able to get through here? No siree. Oh no, we can't get to the field. Yeah, see, I didn't know that has to be a farmer. I didn't realize. I didn't know that rice grew in Italy. I didn't actually go out and try to research agricultural habits of various countries either, but oh, look at that. Sneak can barely squeeze through. So yeah. It's interesting to know. There we go. Fine citizens of the world. We have achieved victory. What on earth? This planter? Something's just catching an edge. We have achieved victory. Need to make sure we don't run out of fuel. You turkeys too? You have rice and turkey also? So, I mean, rice might be real popular. Might be a real popular crop. Although, I mean, for proper rice production, right, you've got to flood the fields. So that would be almost begging for a unique map to incorporate that into, as opposed to just throwing rice down on any given map out there. But heck, maybe there's different ways of growing rice too. Hey, Nismo, what's up? Mark, no, they haven't done the podcast yet. They were, or still are, collecting questions. So I provided the questions you all provided yesterday. So from what I understand, there isn't a date yet for the podcast release. Obviously, they'll need to collect all the questions, go through them all, pick the questions that they want to respond to. Obviously, figure out what the responses are. So my guess is it's at the earliest it'd probably still be a few weeks. So if I'm made aware of when it will be, I'll let everybody know. So rice might be popular. I mean, I would like to see peanuts. They grow peanuts here in Virginia. I'd like to see peanuts. All kinds of stuff we could see. Fruits, vegetables. I mean, a lot of that stuff does require specialty equipment to go along with it. Carrots. Well, there's been maps released with carrot support for sure. So who knows? It might be 6-8 weeks. Or longer before we know what the R DLC could be. R could be root crops, so it could be onions, could be carrots, could be rhubarbs. How you doing, British train spotter? I don't know if you're going to get that, SB Farmer. Seems to me that Farm Sim is more of a true sandbox environment than a storyline game with a sandbox add-on. I think that's part of the appeal of Farm Sim, but also can be part of the frustration with new players. I hear a lot with regard to the Back to Basics series that for various reasons folks get into Farm Sim, but then quickly realize they're not sure what to do. Maybe because there isn't a storyline that acts like a tutorial to walk you through the basics of, well, this is what Farmer Joe needs to do today. Farmer Joe needs to do this now. And that was kind of the, it's kind of the, not the elephant in the room, if you will, maybe, with sandbox games in general. If you know what you're doing, you just get in and you start doing it. If you don't know what you're doing, it's like, what do I do now? There's a little bit of that tutorial that walks you through cultivating and seeding and harvesting. And then it's like, okay, you're done. Have fun. So it can be frustrating for someone that wants to get into the series but not really sure about what they're doing. David, I think basically there aren't irrigation because the game engine doesn't have the concept of moisture. Now with seasons, there is the concept of crop moisture, but the limitation is that the moisture is the same across the entire map. So when it rains everywhere, which isn't that big of a deal on a 2x2 map or a 4x4 map. When you start talking about a 16x map that's 8 kilometers square, well, you could very much have rain in one spot and not in another spot. But standard in Farm Sim, the ground moisture in the northwest corner is the same as the ground moisture in the southeast corner. So you can't really have irrigation where you're irrigating just one segment of a field when the game engine's concept or season's concept of moisture is everywhere. I mean, when it's raining, it's really not raining. There's just this texture put over top of the camera. Another thought process that I have with respect to irrigation is just that, at least where I'm at, where I live, irrigation is not very common. You might find 10% of the fields are irrigated. Now, I know in other parts of the country, irrigation is very common, and you might find 90% of the fields irrigated. But there's a huge amount of farmers that, well, their livelihood is very much dependent upon Mother Nature and if it rains or not. Because providing rain, moisture, irrigation isn't possible. Either they don't have access to a plentiful water source, they don't have access to the power and the resources to put water on their fields, or their fields just are not conducive to irrigation because they're nowhere close to being flat, nowhere close to being in a shape that you could have an irrigation arm move across the field, or an irrigation boom that rotates around a center point, because the field's nowhere as close to flat, nowhere as close to square. Hey, Kiwi Rob, what's up? I have zero idea what they might add to the next farm sim. So for irrigation to work, basically the idea that ground moisture can vary across a map or even a field needs to be made. Possibly piggybacking on the fertilization system. Probably a whole new layer needs to be put in to the concept. So you would need like an irrigation layer. And then as you irrigated, the irrigation layer would be painted, if you will. So the irrigation mods that are out there now simply give you a layer of fertilization. So they're in essence spraying fertilizer, if you will. But I think what people that really want irrigation want is something above and beyond just getting fertilizer. Because base game and even with seasons, you turn your irrigation system on 3 times or twice and you're done. Clayton's irrigation is where you are actively applying water to a field through various means. Most common are circular booms that rotate around a center pivot. There are other types that are basically a big long I don't know what you're going. basically a big arm, if you will, that extends across the field and is powered so that this basically rolls down a track or on wheels in such a fashion that it rolls across a field or a segment of a field and sprays the crop underneath of it. And then when it gets to the end, it basically comes back across and sprays that. Those are the types of irrigation I've seen. I've seen huge water cannons that are kind of on a reel, and they're reeled out into the field, and then they are fed by a big water pump, and the water cannon just sprays water in an arc, and then the reel slowly pulls the water cannon back across the field over time. All right, guys, so that's where we're going to call it for right now. I'll be back in 3 hours to stream again at our normal time frame. We'll be once again on Griffin, Indiana. Finish out our corn planting and hopefully move into summertime, where we will see what other contracts we can get, earn some more money, we'll probably do some baling, and hopefully making some hay to sell down at the dealer. Stefan, I don't know. It'd be nice, but I don't have any insider information. I have a feeling that if we hear anything, it's going to be announced in 2 or 3 months, and possibly be a fall release. That's about all I could speculate on. So until next time, happy farming.